What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we're here today, you guys, to discuss this stupid episode of Married at First Sight, you guys. This is season number 18, episode 11. Episode was titled She Said He Fled. Now, before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this video, or any other video on the channel. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, you guys, and also share the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, you guys, let's talk about Married at First Sight and how these people played in my face last night because they tried it. Pastor Cal, Dr. Pia, y'all tried it. Y'all really tried it in this episode because this episode was a bunch of bullshit. If I ain't never saw something in my life. So, if you guys did watch this episode, definitely jump down in the comment section and let me know what you guys thought about it, and we'll discuss it there. Oh my God, when I tell you guys this episode had me heated. So, what we'll do is we'll start up with the couple who I feel didn't give us a whole lot to work with in this episode, and that will be Camille and Thomas. I didn't get a whole lot out of Camille and Thomas in this week's episode, just being real with you guys. The one thing I will say about Camille and Thomas, I do like their interactions with each other now that Camille is not talking so much about his swag and, the culture, the differences in how they were brought up and things like that. Now that Camille isn't harping so much on that, I'm actually liking Camille a lot more than I previously was with Camille. Um, but we see in this episode as Camille and Thomas met up with Dr. Pepper, right? So Dr. Pepper noticed that Thomas has the earrings in his ear that Camille bought for him. I'm like, yeah, she bought the earrings for him after he put it down in that bedroom. You can't tell me otherwise. So, like I also will say, when it came to Camille and Thomas, I was listening to their scene, but I wasn't 100% listening to their scene because I was kind of bored just a little bit. And that's nothing against Camille and Thomas, by no means, right? Nothing against those two. It's just that the scene gave me absolutely nothing because for them, they're in a different space than, say, Carla and Juan, or a Ma'am and Itchy Scratchy, or who else? Or Michelle and David. Michelle and David. We're gonna talk about them all in a little bit, but we did talk about Thomas and his dad passing away. This is kind of why I tuned out a little bit. It was nothing personal against Thomas, but when he started talking about his dad, I had to kind of just zone out a little bit because yesterday, for some random reason, I was thinking about my mom, and I just broke down crying yesterday. So that was kind of the reason why I couldn't really listen to him talk about his dad, because then it was gonna make me think about my mom. So I was like, okay. But he did talk about that. Camille did talk about her parents splitting up when she was 10 years old, but their divorce wasn't finalized until she was 17 years old. That's a very long ass time. A long ass time. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah. So Dr. Pepper tasked them with writing a letter to their younger selves. Now, when it comes to that whole writing a letter to their younger selves, I'm not somebody who always likes, I don't like that. It's nothing bad, but sometimes you ask people to write things to their younger selves. I feel like it could be a little bit traumatic for some people, but it's something that they asked them to do, and we see as Camille and Thomas did it. They read their letters to each other, and That was it, pretty much in a nutshell. Like I said, if Camille doesn't bring up swag and all that kind of stuff anymore, then I'm gonna be fine with Camille and Thomas, and we can just keep on pushing and moving on with these two. Like I don't, I think that they, like I said, I think that they can last and make it. But yeah, that's all we got when it comes to Camille and Thomas, you guys. Nothing less, nothing more. But let's move on to the next couple, you guys. Now I don't know where we go from here. I think we'll go. I think we'll go the route that we went last week. So next up, we'll talk about is Carla and Juan. I think we want to talk about next. Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about Carla and Juan real quick, and then we'll come back to the other three that I got some opinions on each one of them. So Carla and Juan, we see as Carla is at home and her sister came over, right? So Carla is doing a sound bath. I was like, oh, okay. You ain't trying to do nobody's hair. But she cleared it up. She was like, she had a client that just came over, got her hair cut. I was like, okay, cool. So you are making some money. Okay, some money is better than no money, right? Okay, so some, like I said, some money is better than no money. So after that, like I said, her sister's there. So she's telling her sister about what she wants from her partner and how she wants to feel wanted by her partner. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, girlfriend, it ain't, I don't think that is going to be Juan because Juan doesn't like you. These are my personal opinions. I don't think Juan likes you. I understand you want him to feel wanted, but it's just not going to come from Juan. So she also did talk to her sister about how, you know, how Juan is when it comes to talking about her business and everything. Juan is someone who is structured and wants, for her to plan things. Whereas when it comes to Carla, it seems like Carla is someone who flies by the seat of her pants. And that's not going to work when it comes to you wanting to open up a business. Like because she's talking about the fact that she doesn't plan ahead and she doesn't plan ahead and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, girl, how do you plan to open up a business and not plan ahead? Like when you're the owner of a business, you have to think in terms of the future. Like you have to think long term. Like if you want to open up a salon, you can't wait until the last minute to do certain things. Like if you're out of certain products, you can't wait to the last minute and be like, oh, well, let me just go to the store. Like you can't just wait to the last minute to do things. You have to prepare and plan things. And I don't, and she doesn't think that far ahead, she said. I'm like, how are you trying again? How are you trying to be a business owner and you don't prepare, you don't plan, and you don't think ahead? Your business is gonna tank as soon as you open them damn doors because you're not gonna be ready. And the first year of business, most businesses don't make a profit. So what are you gonna do? Like, what are you planning on doing? Like, I was just listening to Carla. I was like, I don't like this. So then we see as Carla and Juan went out for sushi, right? So he's asking her about her business, and this time she came prepared, right? She came with a notebook, and we found out that she's actually made some plans. I was like, that is a good first step, Carla. I'm glad that you made some plans. I'm here for it, right? Now she says that she only wants to have one chair in her salon, and then she wants to do like yoga and do all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't understand that part. Like, what are you going? Like, here's my thing. What are you going? Like, are you going to only going to have one person come in at a time? Like, I was kind of confused about that. But Juan gave her some advice on maybe she should have more chairs in there, franchise, do some things. And I was like, that's smart, right? And I was happy that he said that, and she was open to his ideas. And I was like, okay, cool. So then later in the episode, we see as they went out to Pilates, and like I said, although I don't have a problem with Juan asking her questions, and it's so interesting. Juan is asking her questions about her business and other things, and Carla's not getting so upset and getting so butthurt and in her feelings about it. She's receptive, she's answering the questions, and she's listening to what he's saying. Whereas another person has so many issues with their spouse asking questions. But we'll get to that asshole in just a little bit. We'll get to that asshole. Trust me, we'll get to him. Let's move on to the next couple, you guys. Madison and Alan. Now I got some things for Madison and I got some things for Alan in this episode. But we're gonna start with Alan. So Alan and Madison, they went out the night before to a bar, right? And they had a few drinks, they watched a football game, they went back home. And when they got back to the crib, Alan told Madison that he was leaving and he was going back to his place. Madison doesn't feel that he should drive back to his place when they just came back from a bar and that he's had a few drinks. And I agree with her. Like, no, sir. Don't drive your ass home. I don't give a damn if it's 10 minutes away. I don't give a damn if it's 5 minutes away. Don't drive home. Like, that's irresponsible of you to do something like that. And that's ultimately what Madison was saying to him, but he's not listening to Madison and he still ended up leaving, right? So then the next morning, we see as he picks up Madison so that they can get the day started. And Madison is still standing on it wasn't a good decision for him to go from their apartment back to his place. But Alan is so fixated on saying, "Well, I had something that I had to do, and it would be closer to my other place, my place, to get there." Okay, I get what you're saying, that it would be closer for you to get there from your apartment, your place, than the apartment. But it's still stupid. It's still illogical what you're saying because you had went to the bar with Madison, you had a few drinks with Madison, and then you got behind the wheel of your car. But then I'm gonna ask this. But then I also have the question: how the hell did y'all get home? Like, did y'all walk home? Did y'all get an Uber or Lyft? Like, how did y'all get home? And here's the other thing, Alan. Let's say, I mean, let's be logical as well. Okay, you want to go back to your place because it would be easier for you to get out from your place. Why not take a Uber? Why not take a cab? Why not take some kind of ride share service where there's no potential for it? Like Madison said, you could get pulled over. Anything can happen. But the fact that he was sitting there making excuses for it, it was pissing me off because it's like that's so irresponsible for you to eat. I don't care if you only, and then he said he knows his limit. And he's a 6 foot 200 something pound guy. I don't care how tall you are or how much you weigh, Alan. You still shouldn't get behind the wheel of a car after you've had a drink. Like, I think that was irresponsible of him. I really think this was irresponsible of him. And I agree with Madison, right? So then we see as Madison and Alan sat down with Dr. Pepper. Now, this is the part of the review where I'm going to come at Madison. Madison, we know that you're not attracted to Alan. It's very clear and it's very evident that you're not. I feel bad for Alan in the respect that Alan is trying to fix himself to be the person that he feels that Madison would like and would be attracted to. Honestly, Alan, you could go to the gym every day. You can get a 6 pack of abs. You can do whatever. I just don't think that Madison will ever find you attractive. So while they're talking about this, he says to her that he does wonder if she finds anything about him attractive. And she says, well, she likes his effort and his thoughtfulness. I was like, that wasn't the question, Madison. That wasn't what he asked. That is not what that man said. He wants to know if you find him physically attractive. Let's be real with each other. The answer to that question is a resounding hell the fuck no. Like, I just want you to be honest about that, Madison. That is the answer to that question. Is no, I don't find you attractive, Alan. Not today, not ever. And I just wish you would be honest about that because again, you don't find him attractive. The thing that I will say about Madison is Madison isn't as rude as Michelle is. That is the only thing that I will give Madison is that she's just not as rude as Michelle's ass is because Michelle is a rude ass heifer. So I'll give Madison half of a point for that part, right? So he did also mention how Madison is when it comes to the girls and how she easily gives David a hug, but when it comes to him, it's crickets. And I was like, ugh. Again, we still like I still want to know who our flip flopping couple is, and I do wonder how long is it gonna take for us to find out who our flip flopping couple is. Um, so she also says that she feels it's a weird question for him to ask if she's attracted to him. Mm-mm. It's not a weird question to ask if you're attracted to him. You just don't want to answer the question, Madison. That is it. That is all. You don't want to answer that question. Now we did get into talking about their childhood. She talked about how she felt growing up with her, with her mom, how she didn't feel safe with her mother, and how she was scared, right? And then Alan talked about the fact that he at a young age he went, he was dealing, he had to go through the custody battle with his parents, and that's really terrible. Uh, I never, that's not something that I know anything about, nor would I ever want to know anything about, nor would I ever want to put a child through is a custody battle. Like, that's terrible. Alan, I hope you sought therapy for that. I really truly do. But yeah, you guys, that is it for Alan and Madison. Now, if I left anything out with Alan and Madison and you guys want to discuss it, leave it down in the comment section, you guys, and we can go ahead and move on to our next to last couple. So let's talk about Michelle and David. Michelle and David. Y'all know how I feel about Michelle. I can't stand Michelle. Michelle gets on my damn nerves. So Michelle and David are meeting up with Dr. Pepper, right? So when they met up with Dr. Pepper, actually they didn't meet up with Dr. Pepper together. David was first. Michelle was late getting there, right? I was like, that's very telling, Michelle. Like I told y'all before, my biggest pet peeve is being late. I cannot stand it. I hate it. I really do, right? So David talked about how, things are with him and Michelle and how he basically takes the punches when it comes to Michelle. And that is true, right? Michelle always has something negative to say. And I honestly feel like with the experts, it's like y'all at this point, the woman is miserable. She doesn't want to be in this marriage with him. Why don't y'all just grant her the divorce? I mean, let them pay the damn fine. Two of these couples need to pay the damn fine that y'all gonna give them and just let them divorce. Michelle, let her divorce David. Although I know David doesn't want to divorce Michelle, but Michelle clearly doesn't want this marriage, right? So Dr. Pepper is gonna sit there and tell David that it's not him, it's Michelle's upbringing and all that kind of stuff. I was like, that's partially true, but it's partially not true. Michelle doesn't want David because everything about him turns her off. And she also thinks that this man is broke. That is the biggest thing when it comes to Michelle is Michelle thinks David is broke. And she can't get past that. So Michelle then came and she and David are talking about how they've grown and stuff. I said, grown how? In what way? They said their communication's gotten better. I said, where and how? Where has the communication gotten better? Because I must have missed it. Because I ain't saw y'all have no better communication at all. But okay, if that's what y'all want to tell each other, then shit, go ahead and tell each other, right? So Dr. Pepper asked me, "Is there anything else?" I said, "Absolutely not," because that they came up with was a crock of bullshit. But okay, Let's run with it. So David then had a talked about as a kid he was pulled out of public school and enrolled in a private school. Now I'm pretty sure that's got to be a different environment, especially if your parents put you in a private school where it's predominantly white and you know you're biracial. I'm pretty sure that is jarring, right? But when I tell you guys these two really annoy me, right? David, the easiest way to put Michelle at ease, and I don't even think I don't even think now it will put Michelle at ease. Just show that woman your bank statement. Show her what you got sitting in your bank account. I bet you if David had more money in his bank account, she wouldn't have shit to say. But like I said, the problem with Michelle is Michelle thinks that David is a broke nigga. Like she thinks the man is broke. So then we see as David and Michelle went shopping for some clothes. Now, the way that Michelle talks about David's style and the way he dresses, you would think that with her and her friend taking him to go shopping, right? I was expecting different clothing options than what she presented to them, what they presented to him. I was expecting, them to put him in some button-down shirts, some slacks, some dress pants, whatever. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, this ain't too far off of what he wears. It's a little different, but it ain't that far off of what he typically wears. So, Michelle, you're just insufferable. She's insufferable, but he liked it. She liked it. I didn't like it because that meant more of Michelle on my television screen. So, yeah, you guys can tell me how you thought, what you felt about that. Honestly, experts, please just grant Michelle and David a divorce. If y'all would grant them a divorce, I would be entirely happy. Again, and then the fact that she sat there and said that the style that she was referencing was something like what Travis Kelsey would wear and what Drake excuse me, y'all. What Travis Kelsey would wear and what Drake would wear. I was like, girl, what? So you want somebody that's gonna dress like Drake with them barrettes? Okay, Michelle. Good night, Michelle. Go to hell, Michelle. Go somewhere with this bullshit, Michelle. That's it, you guys. So we're gonna wrap. I bet you guys I'm choking over here. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up with where the experts excuse me, I had me fucked up. Hold on, you guys. All right, you guys. So the last couple, a mem and itchy scratchy. When I tell you that I was pissed watching these scenes with these two, I was pissed. And I'm gonna tell you why. First, I'm gonna start up with Dr. I'm gonna just address Dr. Pia real quick. I like you, Dr. Pia. I do. But when you sat there and said, ooh, a mem was a little snappy with you, and then you try to say maybe that's what she's done with him, that woman ain't done shit to this insecure ass, broke ass, lame ass, whack ass nigga. She ain't done a motherfucking thing to him. So let's keep that right there. But let's talk about Itchy Scratchy and the fact that this motherfucker is a gaslighter. Because you tried to gaslight Pastor Cal, and you tried to gaslight the fuck out of us, like we ain't watch this, like we ain't watching the shit that they recording. So Itchy Scratchy sat down with Pastor Cal, right, to talk to him. So Pastor Calvin asked Itchy Scratchy, why did he move out the house? Itchy Scratchy says he didn't feel comfortable. Why didn't you feel comfortable, sir? I'm wondering that question. Why do you not feel comfortable living with a man? Oh, okay. Let's just play like we believe you with this whole the sexual advances turned you off. I'm gonna pretend as if I believe that, which I don't believe that. I don't buy that. That is a crock of bullshit. Because if you literally put her hands in between your legs to feel your dick, then you ain't had a problem with that woman. So miss me with the bullshit, number one. Miss me with all the bullshit. I know that his ex-girlfriend has said some stuff. She called him a gaslighter. Girl, we see it. And she said he's well endowed. Okay, cool. And I'm thinking that's probably why he put his hand. If he is in fact well endowed, that is probably why he put her hands between his legs to get a good feel, so that way he can play her like he's playing her right now. But I see right through I see right through you, right? But he keeps talking about the fact that she initiated sex. Is that the worst thing in the world that a woman initiated sex with you? Are you that insecure? Are you, are you that much of a little bitch that it bothers you that much? If it bothers, here's the thing, I'm gonna call you by your name for right now, Ikechi. If it bothers you that much, why not say to her, yo, I'm not at that, I'm not at that point right now. I don't feel comfortable. Because you ain't really saying nothing to her, because it seems like you're shutting down like a little petulant ass child, right? So he also he insults her, and Pastor Cal kind of stopped him, but I'm like, no, go further with that. Because Itchy Scratchy then wants to say, well, I feel like it could have been any man that she would have done this to. No, it would not have been. Please stop trying to like, I think you're trying to make yourself feel good as well by putting her down and demeaning her by just basically saying she'll sleep with any man. You don't know this woman to even make that assumption. You dumbass, lame ass, whack ass nigga. You're the nigga that she walked down the aisle and saw and said I do to. So again, it wouldn't have been it could have, yes, it could have been any man she walked down the aisle to, but these sexual advances, it couldn't have been just any man. It's you, because you initiated the sex with her by putting her hands between your legs. Go straight to the pits of hell, motherfucker. How about that? So then he tells Pastor Cal that he had an issue with her asking him to move in with her, and also that she asked him to shower with her. I wish you would be honest about what your true feelings are, you piece of shit. Your issue is you saw her apartment, you felt inferior to her, and you then internalized that yourself. Please keep it real with yourself, mother. Keep it real with yourself. That's all I gotta say, right? And after that, he says, he talked about that she's had an attitude. I'm like, what attitude has she had? If she's had an attitude with you, it's been after you calling her aggressive and calling her an asshole and all the other stuff that you've done to her. If you've gotten an attitude from her, I'm pretty sure those are the reasons why you've gotten an attitude from her. So, and he also talked about her personality. She has an upbeat personality. So what are you talking about? And then I put in my notes, I says, nigga, who you trying to gaslight? And As soon as I typed that in my notes, Pastor Cal said to him, "Do not gaslight me." I said, I knew I went crazy, that this man is gaslighting people. He is gaslighting. Then he has the audacity to say he hasn't been disrespectful to a mem. I was like, excuse you? You called her aggressive. You called her an asshole. You told the whole group that your wife treats you like shit. All those things are disrespectful, whereas she ain't done shit to you. Okay, and then the fact that Dr. Pia was saying, "Oh, you talked about his suit, girl. That suit was uglier than a motherfucker." So what are you talking about, Dr. Pia? Like when I tell y'all, Dr. Pia was pissing me off as well, but Pastor Cal really pissed me off. Pastor Cal really truly pissed me off in this episode because Pastor Cal is sitting there talking about he wants him to sit down and have a conversation with them. I said, "Excuse you? I would never. I would never sit with that man and have any kind of conversation with him. Like, absolutely not." Hold on, you guys. You guys know I'm still at work. But yeah, I was irritated with this whole entire scene. Pissed. Beyond pissed, right? So this is the part of the episode where this is really, like I said, I got pissed off, right? Because Pastor Calvin and Dr. Pia are both advocating for a mem and Itchy Scratchy to have a conversation with each other. And I'm like, what is the purpose in them having a conversation with each other, right? And like I said, I did not like the whole com- part of the conversation with Dr. Pia. I did not like it because it felt like Dr. Pia was trying to find a way to place some kind of blame on a mem. And I was like, but she ain't done nothing to this man. This man has called her aggressive. This man has called her an asshole. This man has told the group that she treats him like shit. So what the fuck has she done to him? Please explain it to me. Please find some way to explain to me anything she said to him. I just want y'all to make me understand. Just speak to me as if I'm a child. Speak to me in layman's terms and tell me. And anybody in the chat or the line or chat or the comment section, I want y'all to tell me: have I missed something where it feels like Dr. Pia like I felt like Dr. Pia was trying to place some blame. So Dr. Pia asked Amim, "How did they get here?" And she said, she felt like it was basically from the housewarming. That's the start. That was the start of it. But Amim also says she feels like he isn't ready for marriage. And here's the thing: I'm not going to say he's not ready for marriage, right? What I am going to say is, with this show, he wasn't ready for marriage. He's not ready for marriage on this show because he came on this show with ulterior motives that to promote that raggedy ass book that he has on fucking Amazon. I went to go to Amazon this past Saturday, to try to leave a comment, a review on that book. They won't let you. Y'all don't lit that book up. Y'all don't let the fuck out that book. Them comments on that, them reviews on that book, I hollered. Um, so Dr. Pia is trying to talk to Amim and get her to sit down with him. And I was like, for what? What is the purpose? So then we get to this sit down. And when I tell you guys this sit down, I don't give a flying fuck about this sit down. I don't care about this sit down, right? So they asked where the conflict started. And so I got ahead of myself a few minutes ago. Amim said it started with the housewarming party, right? So then Dr. Pia said that then she also said it also, the whole unwanted advances that he said to Dr. Pia. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely part of it too, right? Because you're painting her off as if you're painting her off one way. And here's the thing: when it comes to the unwanted advances, I'm not diminishing him in any way, shape, or form, right? Because here's what I will say. Yes, Amim, he did put his hands between your legs, right? And so you thought at that point that he was with it and he was down for it, right? But when you saw him on the honeymoon, when you sipped that honey pack and he turned over on you, that should have been the wake up call right there that, okay, maybe this man really ain't feeling me like that. And you should have left it alone and not tried it again. So, as much as I can give him flack, I have to come back and also give a mem some flack because a mem, if the man, if the man, shrinks up when you do the sexual advances, then please stop. Because if the roles were reversed and this was him doing his sexual advances to her, we would be grilling him. I know I would too. I know I would be grilling him, right? So I have to be. So yes, I have an issue with him putting her hands between his legs. I have an issue with that. I also have an issue with the fact that she, you know, tried to advance the sex with him and he shut it down. But like I said, when he shut it down to men, let it go. Don't even try it. Just put up a wall. Put up a wall with the bastard. That's all I gotta say, right? So he talks about her asking him questions. I was like, oh my God, how do you get to know a person if you don't ask them any kind of questions? Oh, I'm over him because it's evident and clear that he's just not interested in a mem. And if he would say that, that would save a whole lot of time. But he's too cowardly to say it. So this part of the episode, this ending of the episode pissed me off. Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia, y'all ain't shit. Y'all literally sat there and advocated for these two to work on a marriage that he doesn't want, she needs out of. Then y'all ask him to move back into the apartment with her. The fuck for? What the hell for? Why? Please explain to me why y'all asked these people to do that. Oh, this episode, I don't even know what the hell I watched, you guys. Like, I honestly don't know what I watched. I don't know what I watched. I want my time back because that was a crock of BS. A crock and a load of BS. But that's it, you guys. If I left anything out, leave it in the comment section, you guys. But that's the episode. Be sure to like the video. Let's get is it Tootie Jackson? How are you doing? You say I am so vested in this show, but these two took me out. A mem run and fast. Exactly. Exactly. I want a mem to run away from this man. I was like I said, I was pissed at Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia. I was pissed off at those two to sit there. Oh, Tootie. Okay. Thank you. Tootie. My apologies. But yeah, I was pissed at those two. I was pissed at Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia for even suggesting for them to get back to. I was just pissed. Like I'm lost for words. Okay, okay, I got you now. I got you. But yeah, that's all I got, you guys. When I tell you these people piss me, like I don't know if this is for ratings or what. Like I'm really honestly trying to understand what it is because because I feel like they're pushing Amim and Ikechi to stay together, and I feel like they are pushing Michelle and David to stay together. When Michelle is miserable, and Michelle makes me miserable watching her, and yeah, Ikechi, Itchy Scratchy, as I call him, he's definitely chasing fame. Now, I don't know Chris because I didn't watch that season. I actually watched the season after them. But people have told me that Chris was terrible to Paige and what he did to Paige. And if I feel this way about Itchy Scratchy, I'm pretty sure I would have lit. If I feel the way that I feel about Itchy Scratchy, I would have lit Chris ass up. I would have lit Chris up if I watched his season of Married at First Sight. I would have lit Chris up. But yeah, Itchy Scratchy is 1000% chasing fame, and it's evident. It's evident the fact that the man auditioned for the Houston season, and he auditioned for this season, clearly chasing fame. But it is what it is. So we're gonna see how it plays out. I don't know how many episodes. Well, last week was the halfway point, so I'm assuming we got maybe. I think it looked like it's gonna be a 22 episode season plus the reunion. Can we get to the reunion? Can we get to the decision? Can we get to decision day? I think we should just get to decision day and just call it a wash. Because only couple I have semi hope for is Camille and Thomas. Camille and Thomas are the only two that I have any kind of hope for. But yeah, you guys, that's all I got. Feel free to, like I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, you guys, share the video, and until the next time, you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, you guys, wash your hands, be blessed, and I will see you guys in the next video, you guys. Bye, y'all.